The morning sun hadn't yet crested the rooftops of Willow Creek when I jolted awake, adrenaline surging through me like a live wire. Today was no ordinary Friday, it was the Friday. After 6 months of clawing my way through rejection emails and soul-crushing Zoom interviews, I'd landed a shot at my dream job. A marketing gig at Horizon Creative, a firm known for turning nobodies into somebodies. My suit hung crisp and ready on the closet door. My tie knotted with military precision. I could already feel the weight of a new life settling into my hands. Grabbing my keys, I flung open the front door, a grin splitting my face until I saw it. My heart stopped mid-beat, and the keys slipped from my fingers, clattering onto the porch. There, sprawled across my driveway like a smug, metallic beast, was Monica Hargrove's gleaming black Escalade. Its chrome rims glinted mockingly in the dawn light, and it sat at an angle that screamed entitlement, blocking every inch of my escape route. Monica, the iron-fisted president of the Willow Creek Homeowners Association, had struck again. Panic clawed at my chest. This wasn't just a car on my way, it was a guillotine poised to sever my future. The Inter-VYEW was in 45 minutes, downtown, a 20-minute drive if traffic was kind. I checked my watch, 7:15 a.m. Sweat prickled my forehead as I sprinted across the dew-soaked lawn to Monica's house, my polished shoes squelching in the grass. I pounded on her door, forcing a smile that felt more like a grimace. The door creaked open after what felt like an eternity, revealing Monica in all her glory. Yoga pants tighter than a drum skin, a pastel tank top, and a smoothie in hand that probably cost more than my weekly grocery bill. Her platinum blonde hair was swept into a high ponytail, and she peered at me over the rim of her designer sunglasses, her lips curling into a smirk that could curdle milk. "Good morning, Ethan," she purred, her voice dripping with faux sweetness. "You look flustered." "Monica," I said, swallowing the urge to scream, "your Escalade's blocking my driveway. I got a job in her VYEW in less than an hour, please. Can you move it?" She tilted her head, sipping her smoothie with deliberate slowness. "Oh, Ethan, you poor dear. I'd love to help, but I'm on my way to Pilates. The instructor saves my spot by the window, and you know how I hate to disappoint her." She flashed a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Maybe you should have parked on the street last night. Planning, you know." My jaw clenched so hard I thought my teeth might crack. "Monica, this isn't a game. This Inter-VYU, it's everything. 2 minutes. That's all I'm asking." She sighed, a theatrical gust of air, and adjusted the yoga mat slung over her shoulder. "Ethan, don't be so dramatic. Life's about priorities. Good luck with your little thing." With that, she shut the door in my face, the click of the lock echoing like a gunshot. I stood there, fistballed, rage boiling under my skin. The woman's audacity was a force of nature, a hurricane of selfishness that flattened everything in its path. My dream job was slipping away, and I was powerless until I wasn't. I bolted next door to Mr. Clarence "Buck" Thompson, a grizzled ex-trucker with a penchant for homemade moonshine and wild stories about Bigfoot. Buck answered the door in a bathrobe patterned with pineapples, his gray hair sticking out like he'd been electrocuted. A lit cigar dangled from his lips, and he squinted at me through the haze of smoke. "What's the ruckus, kid?" he growled, scratching his stubble. "You look like you're about to rob a bank." "Worse," I said, pointing at Monica's Escalade. "She's blocked me in, and I'm about to miss the biggest Inter-VYEW of my life. Can you help?" Buck leaned out, eyeing the SUV with a scowl. "That Hargrove woman's a menace. I'd tow it with my tractor, but the damn thing's in the shop. Flat tire." I glanced at his ancient pickup in the driveway, its tires indeed sagging into the gravel. "No chance you can drive me." "Wish I could, son. That rust bucket hasn't moved since the Clinton administration." He puffed his cigar, thoughtful. "Uber." I yanked out my phone, hands trembling. The app loaded, and my stomach dropped. No drivers available. The clock ticked to 7:25. Defeated, I sank onto Buck's porch steps, head in my hands. My future was crumbling, and all I could do was watch. That evening, The neighborhood barbecue turned my humiliation into a public spectacle. Monica, in a floral sundress and a wide-brimmed hat, regaled the crowd with her version of the morning's events. Ethan was practically sobbing, she said, her voice loud enough to carry over the sizzle of burgers. All because I wouldn't rearrange my day for his little tantrum. Laughter rippled through the group, and my face burned as neighbors I'd known for years avoided my gaze. Buck, nursing a beer beside me, clapped a meaty hand on my shoulder. Ignore her, Ethan. Karma's got a long memory. And if it forgets, I've got a crowbar. I forced a laugh, but Monica's next jab cut deeper. Maybe if Ethan took responsibility instead of whining about driveways, he'd get somewhere in life. The crowd tittered again, and something inside me snapped. I'd had enough of being her punching bag. Later that night, fueled by spite and a double espresso, I found myself on a sketchy website selling industrial supplies. My cursor hovered over barbed wire 15,000-foot bulk discount. Buck, peering over my shoulder, whistled. 15,000 feet? You fencing in a whole damn county, or just Monica's ego? I smirked, clicking by now. Let's just say Monica's about to learn a lesson in parking etiquette. Buck's eyes gleamed with mischief. Count me in, kid. Beats the hell out of my usual Friday night. The delivery arrived at midnight. A hulking pile of coiled wire dumped at the curb under a flickering street lamp. Buck and I stared at it, the reality of our plan sinking in. This might have been overkill, I muttered, nerves jangling. Too late for regrets, Buck said, hefting a coil with a grunt. Let's wrap that beast. We stumbled toward Monica's Escalade like a pair of bumbling thieves, the wire snagging on everything Buck's robe, my jeans, the mailbox. Within minutes, Buck was tangled, cursing his thorns bit into his sleeves. I freed him, stifling laughter, and we pressed on, wrapping the SUV in jagged loops. The metal screeched against the paint, a symphony of petty vengeance. Halfway through, a dog barked, and we dove behind the car, hearts pounding as a neighbor's light flicked on. When it dimmed, we finished the job, stepping back at 2 a.m. to admire our work. Monica's pride and joy, now a barbed wire cocoon. The next morning, her scream shattered the stillness. I raced outside in sweatpants, joining a crowd of gawking neighbors. Monica stood in her driveway, hands on hips, staring at the Escalade like it had betrayed her. My baby, she wailed. Who did this? I'll have him arrested. Buck, leaning against a tree with a coffee mug, shot me a wink. I feigned shock, murmuring, maybe it's a prank? A prank. Monica shrieked, dialing her phone. This is a felony. Deputy Lila Carter arrived 10 minutes later, her patrol car rolling up with a sigh audible in its engine. Lila, a no-nonsense woman with a soft spot for underdogs, surveyed the scene with a raised eyebrow. Monica launched into a tirade, demanding justice, but Lila cut her off. Monica, you parked across Ethan's driveway again, didn't you? Monica bristled. That's irrelevant. This is vandalism. Lila smirked. Looks more like a statement. Unwrap it yourself, and maybe say sorry to whoever you pissed off. The crowd snickered as Monica's face turned purple. Her glare landed on me, sharp as a blade. You, she hissed. I know it was you. My pulse spiked, but I shrugged. No proof, Monica. She stormed off, vowing retribution. Buck sidled up, uneasy. We might have lit a fuse, Ethan. He was right. That night, an email hit my inbox. Emergency HOA meeting 7 p.m. My stomach nodded. This was war. The clubhouse hummed with tension as neighbors filed in, whispering about the Escalade incident. Buck and I took seats in the back, hoping to fade into the woodwork. At 7 sharp, Monica strode in, her heels clicking like gunfire. She carried a leather binder thick with HOA rules, her face a mask of cold fury. Friends, she began, her voice tight. Last night, someone in this community committed an act of terrorism against me. We must punish the culprit. Her eyes locked on mine, and I shrank in my seat. Mrs. Evelyn Pierce, a soft-spoken widow who baked cookies for every meeting, raised a trembling hand. Monica, dear, if you hadn't blocked Ethan's driveway so often, maybe this wouldn't have happened. The room erupted in stifled laughter. Monica's smile froze. Evelyn, my parking is within HOA Guidelines Rule 17C, Section 2. Vandalism, however, is not. She flipped open her binder. I propose a DULA $7,500 fine and suspension of PRIVY leges for Ethan Pierce. Buck shot his feet. Hold up. You can't find someone without proof. This ain't a kangaroo court. Cheers broke out, and Monica's composure cracked. Proof? I have it. She jabbed a remote at the TV, and grainy footage flickered to life. Buck and I, fumbling with wire under her porch light. The room went silent, all eyes on us. Buck slumped, muttering, should have worn a ski mask. Monica smirked triumphantly. Anything to say, Ethan? Before I could stammer a defense, Lila Carter stepped in, her boots thudding on the floor. Actually, Monica, I've got something. She held up a folder. After your calls today, I dug into the HOA books. Found some interesting expenses. DULA $20,000 on wellness retreats, DULA $5,000 on a custom car wrap, and a DULA $3,000 dog grooming bill. Care to explain? Monica paled, her binder slipping. That's preposterous. Lila handed the folder to Evelyn, who gasped. Monica, you used our dues for a golden retriever spa day? The room exploded. Monica lunged for the papers, but neighbors passed them around, outrage building. You stole from us, someone shouted. She bolted, slamming the door behind her. Buck grinned. Well, damn. We didn't just win, we rewrote the game. Weeks later, the courtroom was a pressure cooker. Monica sued me for damages, her lawyers spinning a tale of trauma and terror. I took the stand, recounting her tyranny, the lost inter-VYEW, the barbed wire as a desperate cry. The jury listened, rapt. Then Lila dropped the bomb. More records, years of embezzlement, DULA $50,000 total. The judge dismissed Monica's case, and order nodded. Monica fled the stand, her empire in ashes. Outside, neighbors hailed me as a hero. The HOA elected a new president, Evelyn, who promised cookies over fines. Monica's house hit the market. Her Escalade traded for a beat-up hatchback. I got the Horizon job after the HR manager saw the VY Rao courtroom clip. One evening, Buck and I sat on my porch, beers in hand, watching the sunset. 15,000 feet of wire, he mused. Took down a dictator and saved the block. I clinked my bottle against his. To second chances. The cul-de-sac glowed, peaceful at last. Monica was gone, but her legend lingerita warning etched in steel. If you were the one in this story, how would you react? Would you stand up and fight back, or accept the unreasonable pressure and control from the HOA? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this VY Deo with more people. Your small action gives us the motivation to keep bringing you more intense and engaging stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next VY Deo.